I believe with all of my heart that you can be the first. It turns out that you are the most powerful person in your world. Come on, bro. Yeah. All right, here we go. Got 2 words for you today. 2 words, here they are. Dare greatly. Dare greatly. Listen, as I bounce from locker room to locker room, gym to gym, speaking with athletes across the country, there's this continual idea that comes up over and over again. And it's that people are afraid to fail. They fear failing such that it paralyzes them. They're so afraid of not being perfect. They're so afraid of not having it exactly right that it keeps them from ever getting in the game. They throw in the towel and they quit before they ever step on the field because they're so afraid of getting it wrong. Because there's been times in their life where they've gotten it wrong, and then came the critic. And then came all of a sudden the turning of the back. Then all of a sudden came the social media and the face-to-face and the behind the back and all of the things that come with not getting it just right. And when this happens, people get skittish about trying something new. They get skittish about trying to grow because they don't know what lies ahead in the growth. They say, I know what this is. I've got a good beat on this, and so I'm not gonna do anything different. Instead, I'm gonna stay right here, and it paralyzes them. Friends, I wanna challenge you today. You wanna be successful in sports and in life. You cannot be paralyzed by the fear. You cannot be paralyzed by the thought of the critic or those that might speak up, but instead, you must dare greatly. You must be willing to roll the dice in the right place at the right time and say that I am created for something more than the safety of a harbor. I was made for the sea. And so you get out and you go. President Teddy Roosevelt said this, talking about this powerful idea. It was as true 100 years ago as it is today. He said, it is not the critic who counts. Did you know that the critic only has the power that you give them? Right? If you give a critic power, it has power. But if you don't care what the critic thinks, then the critic has no power. They can type away, they can talk away, they can gossip away, and it will have zero effect on you. It is not the critic who counts. It is not the one who points out where the strong man stumbles, Roosevelt said, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit doesn't belong to them, but instead he says the credit belongs to the man who is in the arena, the one whose face is marred with dust and blood and sweat, who strives valiantly. You want to get credit for fighting in the game of life? You want to get credit in the game of sports? It is not the voice outside that matters. It's when you get in the field, when you get in the arena, that's where the credit is found. When you get dirty and dusty, and when you fail and you fall on your face and then you get back up and you go at it again, where you strive, you give great effort valiantly, and you persevere to the very end. That you don't worry about the plays before or the plays after, the record before, the record after, that you are undefeated on this play. That's where credit is found. Roosevelt continues and he says this, the credit belongs to the man who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming. I'm gonna tell you right now, the day you quit trying is the day you start failing. You want to be successful. It's not about getting it right on the first time. Stop trying to hit the home run every play. Stop trying to get the hole in one with every swing, and dedicate yourself to the perseverance of striving valiantly, day after day, play after play. Get knocked down and stand back up. You can do it in sports. You can do it in life. You got to understand what President Roosevelt is talking is powerful. It will utterly change your life if you will let it. Listen to this. The credit belongs to the man who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasm, the great devotions, who spends himself for a worthy cause. I want to ask you, are you an actual doer of deeds? Are you someone who focuses on getting all of the credit of doing the deeds, but don't actually do any of the deeds? So many people will give great effort to get the praise, to get the awareness, to get the accolades, to get the letter jackets, to get the status, to get the acceptance, to get the love, to get the fill in the blank. So many people will fight for all of the external, all of the trappings, all of the fanfare, all of the ornaments on the Christmas tree, but they won't do any work to actually put the tree up. They won't do any work to actually do the work. Be the kind of person who actually does the deed, who actually works, fights, and strives for something greater than themselves. Every one of us are going to spend our lives. Every day that we're awake, every day that we are given, we spend our lives. The question is, do we spend it intentionally or do we spend it haphazardly? Do we spend it for something of a worthy cause, for something greater than ourselves, or do we spend it on useless and worthless things? Be the kind of person who works to actually do the deed and spend their life in a way that is worthy of your purpose. You got to understand why this is so powerful. Because if you buy into this, if you start to dare greatly, you don't listen to the voice of the critic, you push them out and you focus in and you get in the arena and you get dirty and you get it done, then what will happen is that if at your best, you will know the triumph of high achievement. And at your worst, if you fail, you will fail having dared greatly, so that your place will never be among the cold and timid souls that never knew victory or defeat. Friends, you got to understand you were made to be in the arena. You were made to get in the fight. And that's where you're going to make an impact in this world. That's where you're going to change things. It'll be easy to stay out of the arena, but that's not what you were made for. John Shedd said this. He said, a ship is safe in the harbor, but that's not what it was created for. Friends, you were created for more. Get in the arena. Get dirty. Ignore the voice of the critic. Grow, become more, and make an impact in this world. You want to find success like you've never known, friends? It's not complicated. It's as simple as 2 words. You got to dare greatly. Let's have a go in today.